Today, we are looking at a critical discussion from TVC's Journalist Hangout. The Nigerian army has scored a significant victory by rescuing 10 kidnapped women in Kaduna and recovering ransom money. But beyond the celebration, veteran journalist Babajide Otitoju'S BKO has dropped a bombshell recommendation. He argued that to truly secure our farms and highways, we need a massive recruitment drive, even tapping into the pool of Nysc graduates, and a total strategic shift from stationary checkpoint to a motorized patrol. Is manpower our biggest problem? Let's sit back and hear them out.
All right, welcome back. It's still Journalist Hangout. I still have BKO right here and Charles Idel. I mean, the Nigerian army in Kaduna, they rescued 10 kidnapped victims. This is another talk about recovered weapons.
I think they also left including 1.6 million part of the ransom.
Yes, part of the ransom, yes.
And I like it because when I read the report, I liked what they did. The families cooperated with the security agency, which is very good. Because when you report cases, cooperate with them. But some people will not volunteer information. They say they're afraid or they might kill. But I know that there are risks in all this, but they cooperated. It is at the point of when they wanted to receive the ransom, when they said that most of them, and they saw the security agents, and then they took to their heads, forgetting, leaving behind all these things they recovered, including part of the money, 1.6 million. Yes. And now, then you have these other women. I saw the photograph of those women. I said, God, you have those people in your custody doing what? Just to punish the society upon. These are women, very fragile looking. I don't know if you saw the photograph of those women, very fragile looking women and all that. I said, why on earth would you seize women who have husbands, who have children back home, because you want to make money or what? You want to spy the government?
I think they targeted the women.
They don't take it because they're helpless and all that. And weapons have a way of creating fear. I mean, the fear is what they're using. Fear. Once they know, everywhere you are going, we now saw criminal. Everybody, you are panicking. So that's again, just as we praise Amotekun in Ondo State and other, we also need to praise the military. The other security agencies that are involved in this fight against security, particularly this one you have to make Kaduna. Those ones, they are back now to their families and all that. Yes. So efforts, as they are putting effort, we need to be applauding them. When we applaud them, they are encouraged. They are goaded to do more. But when you put them down, whatever they do, as BKO said earlier, then it doesn't make the headlines. Then it seems as if they are blinking in the dark, and they are putting their lives in life for us. We go home, we are sleeping, we are snoring. People are right there facing the bullets and all that. So
and just like what BKO said, some Nigerians, they always look at the negative.
No, it's there. It's there over time.
Before we came back on, I asked that question. How do we change that thinking of Nigerians?
Before it comes, the things are first. We must look at the ethnic composition, the configuration of this country. When a particular ethnic group has their man or woman being the president, the head of affair, the other one will say, oh no, they must fight to bring the person down. Because we just look at leadership as a gain for ethnicity. So if it's Fulani that is there today, we protect our own, the others could go to hell. Yes. If it's Yoruba that is there, we protect our own, the other could go to hell waiting for. So if it's there, let us bring him down so that we hasten the process to get in there. So that's part of what. So today, a Yoruba man is there. Some other, I think I'm not going to mention names, may not be happy. So those are some of them that are seeing negativity in this positivity.
It is sad. But BKO, talking about still on the rescue of these women, the farms, during harvest, do you think there should be some sort of increased troop presence, patrol, in the farmlands, due to repeated abductions, during harvest season?
I think the most critical thing that we need to do is increase our troop strength. For years, we didn't even recruit into the police. We didn't do substantial recruitment into the police. Now, we are one of the most under-police, if not the most under-police country in the world, currently, in terms of ratio of police to the population. We are probably the worst in the world. It's really frightening. We must recruit into the civil defense. I was talking about the civil defense yesterday, that they are not more than 60,000.
For 200 million
Yes,
and above people.
And even at that, only about half of that number have arms. A man who has not got weapons to fight, how does he do the job?
He can't.
So there are fundamental steps that we need to take. All of these armed forces of our country, we must recruit people into them. Every year, people are coming out of NYC.
That's true.
A lot of them would like to join the army. A lot of them would like to join the police. These days, I see a lot of very well-educated people, joining the police, joining the armed forces. People can stand there, people have good training. We saw Yerima the other day. There are many people like even better than him, So we need to recruit into the armed forces. Even civilian JTF in Borno State, we need to recruit more of them. Okay. Let's be in position to even police these forests, these ungoverned spaces. They are too much. Let's be able to do motorized patrols. In Kogi, for example, we already know where these guys, the border communities with Kwara.
Okay.
So we must flood that area with men of the armed forces, sustain motorized patrols. Because motorized patrols, in my view, are far more effective than stationary checkpoints. You know that at any point, in fact, those vehicles should not be too far apart. Different,
so that we're able to
different trucks,
get information,
or police or soldiers. One is ahead, maybe less than a kilometer. You see another one. It will pose serious logistical challenge. But we cannot defeat these good-for-nothing people if we do not increase our troop strength, and the president has already set that in motion. I said they should recruit into the army, recruit into the police. Now, recruit into the civil defense. Double the number of the civil defense and give them weapons. I can tell you, if you double the number of people in the civil defense, you train them, you give them weapons, the kind of weapons that these bandits are carrying. Half of the war has been won.
Absolutely.
Because we need to put them everywhere. And look, whether we like it or not, we still need to secure our VIPs. If, for example, judges, those guiding judges, you withdraw them, a lot of those judges will be dead.
Yeah.
So you cannot deny some VVIPs protection.
Yes.
The Indians were in this kind of situation. They withdrew security from some VIPs. But the VVIPs, they still left them with security. Now what they've done, what the Indians did was to say, okay, the security operatives whose job it has to do with counter-terrorism, we need those ones a lot more. So they withdrew those ones from the VVIPs, that is actors, actresses, people who are very famous. They withdrew those ones. And then they gave them other security operatives, not people of that elite, elite rank. You get it? Because they too were faced with the kind of situation that we are facing, that, and some of these people will move with a good number of these people. So they say, okay, counter-terrorism operatives.
We require this, and let's take them.
We need those ones. Because we all know what they are going through with Pakistan and all that. We withdrew those ones. Say, okay, let's allow another cadre to offer protection.
Maybe regular police.
And that's what the president was saying, okay, civil defense is protecting those people. But the problem is the civil defense, about half of them don't even have weapons. So they can't provide that protection.
All right, gentlemen, straight to our final.
Welcome back, guys. That was intense. Let's really break down what we've just heard, because there are layers to this conversation that we shouldn't miss. First, Did you catch what Charles Ideho said at the beginning? He highlighted something we don't see often: cooperation. He noted that the families of the victims actually worked with the security agencies rather than hiding information. Usually, people are terrified that if they talk to the army, the kidnappers will kill their loved ones. But here, that trust paid off. The bandits were intercepted at the point of collecting ransom, ran away and left the money and weapons behind. That is a huge moral booster. But Charles also touched on a very dark psychological tactic used by these bandits, targeting women. He pointed out that kidnapping frail-looking women who have husbands and children at home is a strategy of pure terror. It's designed to break the community spirit and force quick payment. It is heart-wrenching, but it shows the level of desperation and the evil we are dealing with. Then, the conversation shifted to Babajide Otitoju'S, and this is where the policy talk got heavy. BKO went straight to the root cause. We are severely understaffed. Think about it. He mentioned that Nigeria has perhaps the worst policing to citizen ratio in the world. He raised a very controversial but interesting point about recruitment. He said every year, thousands of educated, fit young Nigerians finish their Nysc. Many of them are patriotic and looking for work. Why aren't we aggressively recruiting from this pool into the army and the police? He didn't stop there. He focused heavily on civil defense, that is NSCDC. He dropped a stat that is honestly frightening. Out of roughly 60,000 civil defense officers, only about half are armed. How do you expect an unarmed officer to protect a farm against bandits carrying military-grade rifle? It is a suicide mission. BKO's argument is that we need to flood the ungoverned spaces, those deep forests and border communities like the Kogi-Kwara boundaries. He is calling for motorized patrol instead of soldiers standing in one spot, which makes them sitting duck. They should be constantly moving in trucks, communicating with each other, closing gaps of less than a kilometer. Basically, the takeaway from that expedition is this: we have the people, youth. We have the need, but we lack the political will to recruit, arm, and deploy them effectively to the bushes where the enemy hides. Now, let's get into my own critical take on this, because BKO raises points that we really need to scrutinize. Let us look at the 4 points one by one. Point number 1, the visibility of NYSC recruitment. I completely agree with BKO on the numbers game. You cannot police 200 million people with current strength of the Nigerian army and the police. However, recruiting from the NYSC pool requires caution. It is not just about giving a graduate a gun. The training must be rigorous. We have had issues in the past with poorly trained tactical squad acting like criminals themselves. If we are going to recruit graduates, it must be professionalized, well-funded intake, not just a job scheme to reduce unemployment numbers. They need to be war-ready, not just payroll-ready. So he talked about the point number 2. He talked about the VIP protection. The VIP protection scandal. This was the most striking or stinging part of BKO's analysis for me. He mentioned that we might need to withdraw police from VIPs. He is 100% right. It is a national embarrassment that in a country this insecure, you see upcoming actors, minor politicians and big men walking around with 3 or 4 mobile police carrying AK-47 while whole villages are left unguarded. We are essentially privatizing our national security. The wealthy buy safety and the poor pay ransom. Can you imagine that? BKO suggested that we should use private security or lower grade operatives for VIP so that the elite combat-ready officers can go to the forest. This is a policy that the president needs to enforce immediately. If you are not high-ranking government official essential to the state, hire a private guard. Our police should be for the people, not the highest bidder. Point number 3, the civil defense potential. I think the most underrated point in this video is the civil defense. Originally, they were meant to protect critical infrastructure. If we double their numbers and actually arm them as BKO suggested, they could be primary force protecting our farmers. We talk about food inflation every day. Tomatoes are expensive, garri is expensive. Why? Because farmers can't go to the farm. If we secure the farms using the civil defense, we solve 2 problems at once: insecurity and food inflation. Fourth, The ethnic bias in security. Charles Ideho mentioned briefly how we polarize security based on who is the president. If a Yoruba man is in charge, Yoruba critics might go soft. If a Fulani man is in charge, others attack. We need to stop this. A bullet does not check your state of origin before it kills you. We need to applaud the military when they win, like this rescue in Kaduna, and criticize them constructively when they fail, regardless of who is sitting in Aso Rock. BKO is right. We cannot win a modern war against bandits with insufficient boots on the ground. Technology is great. Drones are great. But ultimately, you need human beings to occupy the territory. If we don't recruit now, we will be having this same conversation in 10 years. Well, that is my take for today's discussion. But I want to hear from you. Do you think recruiting fresh graduates from NYSC into the army is a good idea? And should the government withdraw police attachment from VIPs to secure our streets? Drop your comments below. Let's get into the conversation. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Oba's Trending Gist, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. I'll see you in the next video.